Hello, my loves. How are you? So, I wanted to let you know really quick to support all these massive shifts that have been in the process of happening. I recorded a session called Space and Grace. And the reason I was guided into this is because there's so many people going through so many different things. It felt supportive to really just create a container to allow things to like open and process and space to land where we are now so that we can actually receive the results. And this really ended up going into some of the messages that I was going to bring forward for you. The energies that we have with this Saturn and Pluto retrograde and whatever else is retrograde right now. I know there's other things too, but it's really been standing out to me with Pluto and Saturn because they are such big planets and they're really, I believe, a big part of why we've been feeling like that painstakingly, like things are going so slow and it feels like the void and feeling like almost bored, but then at the same time, it kicked into us processing so many past things. Like I was speaking about the other day, really going into some of these inner child energies and looking at the dynamics from our families, the mother and father, which does intersect with the masculine and feminine dynamics, of course, because our internal masculine and feminine dynamics, which is the genetics, the DNA that we received from our parents, right? Our genetic parents. And then you have your own internal masculine and feminine, like soul essences. And so working with all of these energies is coming to the surface pretty prominently right now. And even connecting in with past life information, like I spoke about. And it could be past lives on this planet. It could even be cosmic contracts coming into play or cosmic contracts connected to Earth. Like I said, past life and those patterns of why we incarnated into this physical form in this life. And this has become important because it's the karmic contracts or codependent energies that we came to complete out. Karmic energies are not always necessarily like bad or, it's just about completing a cycle. This went into some deep energies of the promises, the oaths, the vows. And quite specifically, something that's been coming up is familial blood vows, right? Like, or even vows that you maybe may have made as a kid playing around in the neighborhood, like, oh, blood brothers, things of that nature. Those things came up in the session to work with. Of course, if you want to partake in that, it'll be in the pinned comment. But really, I like to bring the messages so you can work with them in whatever way feels beneficial for you if they resonate, of course. This overarching energy feels really important because we're clearing out. It does feel like there is a definite move in the collective where we are stabilizing more in the new, out of the karmic types of codependent energies, right? Moving more into the interdependence. And when I say that, what's coming to me is sort of like the karmic energies are where there was these sort of obligations that either were promised would be fulfilled or needed to be fulfilled. There's sort of those types of dynamics running in the background, and it feels like that's a lot of what we've been working to complete so that we're free and sovereign to be in the present and to move forward in our sovereignty for the next steps and stages. Now, like we might be at all different stages of this process, and it's all okay. But what is important is giving yourself space and grace to process out and complete out the contracts of what are done, right? Even if there's more things to do, it can be really helpful to honor that those contracts are completed and closed, right? And then with some people, They may reopen in a new way. Some might complete out for good. This can also translate to areas on the planet or jobs. Just it can be people, places, things, right? That we had these sort of obligations to. But it does feel that there is a part of the collective that has significantly transmuted quite a bit of those karmic contracts and feeling very ready to move forward in the new. And a big important piece of knowing that you're ready to complete out karmic contracts is where you're feeling in the self-loving, honorable energy, where you're caring for yourself, providing for yourself, but you're also in a space and place where you can receive and share in reciprocity in healthy, interdependent ways. Or you may find that if things like were not very comfortable or kind of toxic and you used to play in those energies or try to work on those, you may find that just stepping out of them is the answer, right? And letting yourself heal, and then maybe you readdress them in a different way down the line when you've shifted the patterns within you, right? And some of those sometimes are just patterns we're born into. They're just in the family, they're in society, they're in the places where we grew up, right? Just in the community types of things. So you'll know that you're ready to release it actually when you feel balanced and tempered around things, right? If you're still feeling resistance to things, then there's still something there to resolve. Now, you may not agree with something. You may not want to participate with something, but you can still choose to not resist it. You don't have to participate, right? You don't have to agree to it, but you can honor other people's choices. You can honor their decisions and their discernment at what they feel they need to do for themselves. And then you can choose to opt out of that part of it. In some cases, you may fully walk away and not participate with those people, places, or things at all. In other cases, you just may choose to pull your energy back in certain areas with certain people at certain times. But you might find it's still healthy and fine for you to interact with them in other ways. This just feels really important because it's translating into, again, the overarching energies and dynamics between the masculine and feminine. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into a deeper masculine and feminine dynamic video over on Harmonious Hearts for any of you that want to join me there. But I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to put all of my information in the pinned comment, and I'm going to add that specific session, the Space and Grace session, if any of you want to check that out. I also have my schedule open for next week if any of you feel guided to connect one-on-one. And I hope you found this message helpful. I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Much love.